Hello, here is an Osaka League game that ended up with black winning by resignation after a big catch in the lower right corner. So at this stage, when white defends f15, that's only 1 point in Gote, white should clearly defend at q8. Because after Atari, he will lose the entire group or the tail, and it's very expensive. So if white connects here, the whole group dies. That's an ouch. So let's see, the game felt pretty close most of the time. Useki, extremely modern, early Sansan invasion, so far so good. Now here, black doesn't have to push a d14 right away. I mean, it's a fine move, it's one of the options locally, but at this stage, black can already consider Sente. So another Sansan invasion, it's an option. Make a Shimari in the lower right corner, either q5 or q6. Defend the top right corner against a Sansan, or attack the lower left from f3 or c6. All these moves are playable, so you don't always have to push right away at d14. It's not that it's a bad move, but you don't have to make it a habit to play it as a reflex move. Of course, the follow-up in the top is to Hane e15 after the push at d14, which usually makes white capture the stones either solid or e18. But of course, black can wait for moves like f18, for example, which we're not going to see this game because later on black played e18, and that's a bit different. Anyway, yeah, good for white to attack this lower right corner. Then a peaceful Joseki, the classic one. Now another Sansan invasion, this is good. On the right side, black can play r12. This is to prevent r14 and also to prepare an invasion at r9. But Sansan is fine. Now here white messed up a little bit. Normally, white can, if white plays a Hane, he should continue with a double Hane. Once he plays Nobi on the push, he's supposed to Nobi again. Black will push one more time, Nobi once more, and then black will take the middle side extension. So the wall is not very meaningful. But here, this is good for black because of the Hane in the head of two stones and come up on the side. So white's move here should be just one space jump. Then if black plays a Nobi, white should leave the position like this and continue with other big points. So white Hane, then double Hane, very good. Atari also. Now here in this position, black can think about double Atari and catch two stones. I doubt white will connect here and give up this. It's too much of a disaster locally. But even so, this is not that terrible after all. White got the Ponuki and white can also extend on the left side. So it's good for black to come out. Then then use the double Atari. Now turn, very good. And here white should get ahead. The Atari is too painful to allow at h6. So white played away and black immediately Atari. That's a very good move. Even though it's big to defend the top right corner, playing Atari here is powerful. So black starts to look good in the opening. White defense, that's painful, but he has to. You don't really need to pincer. It's good enough to play r14. If white extends back, there are still ways to enter the top, either with a Hane or with this kind of move, and then invade at m17 and simply leave underneath. That's a way to leave inside. Actually, black can already jump like this, and white has to protect against the cuts in the middle. So anyway, yeah, pincer, possible too, but white should play the double approach, because this is an ideal shape for q10 and also to make use of his o17. Now if black comes out, white will go in the corner, black will block the top side, but white got a very nice right side, and then it's there is still agi as long as o17 is in that area. Anyway, white jumps, black protects the corner, and again, this is very good for black. And the two stones in the top are still kind of heavy and floating. So this variation was much better for black than for white. Now white plays a cap, he's or she is very confident. It's better to play h17 here. This looks like an overplay. So black can just make a base by playing g17. The e18 move is not necessary. There are quadrants to use in that corner. For example, at some point, black can come out, then cut, then play Atari from the outside. So there are 3 threats that it's better to keep them than just play a forcing move. Now white captures and you still need to come back. So that's more of a thank you move to play this exchange. It ruins the Aji, so it's a complete Aji Keshi and no more threats in the future. Also, in general, you want to play f18, and if your opponent answers here or here, you either go up or extend to the right. So at least that stone is connected. But playing like this, white can clamp later on in endgame and catch that stone. So I played another cap that's actually small. Now instead of playing Hane and defend, which makes white a pretty good shape here, black should always Atari to see whether white will give up the 2 stones or resist. Now the idea of this Atari is to give white a bad shape, and also the ladder doesn't work right now, but you can prepare a ladder breaker. So for example, play a shoulder hit, then a 1 space jump. Now if white defends the left side, you just come out and it's troublesome for white. And if he captures a stone, then you separate. And again, it's tricky because the 2 stones on the left are in trouble, and so is the entire wall. Therefore, when you play Atari here, white might give up the 2 stones. And once you take them, there's another cutting point, so white needs to protect like this. Then you can play something on the right side to expand this moyo. So this shows that black is confident with the territory and it's good enough to win the game. Now shoulder hit this way. Well, on the left side it's good enough to play this kind of move. Oh, white play with too much fighting spirit. Just push and maybe push one more time. Then jump in the middle. This is a very big point for white because it's threatening the cut at J6 and also reduces the bottom. So if black plays here, white can play a peep, then push along. Actually push like this first and turn. And now white doesn't even have to cut. It's more interesting to play an attach here, another one like this, and jump in the middle to make a big box like this. In the game, that was mostly black. So this shows too much fighting spirit. Black obviously will separate. Hane, that's good. But this Atari is strange. So there are some cutting points here for black, either D11 or D8. And the easy way for black to follow up is just descend. Because if white captures, you're going to squeeze Atari and Atari again. And if he still wants to keep the cut active at D11, he must connect. But now you don't even care about the 2 stones because white already plays so many moves inside, so you can play a big point. And when he cuts, you just let him have the 2 stones. Oops. But black has other options. So for example, black can play Atari here, then Atari again, and connect. Now white has to go under and leave. With this move, you connect on the outside, he will play Atari, defend, connect, and you also connect like this. So you get a wall, you ruin the left side, and he makes a small life. And if you feel in danger with the outside group, so for example, if the group gets surrounded, you have this move in center and connect underneath. So no problem. But let's see. So Atari, connect, defend. Now if white cuts, that's a little bit dangerous because black can Atari here, then go down. Now when white cuts like this, you Atari and connect. So you don't give the stones on the left side anymore. And now his only option is to fight a very desperate ko with this move. But you go down first, then Hane, then when you capture the ko, everything is in Atari. So this is a very tricky ko to fight because if he tries to play some local threat like this turn, you just capture everything. So once you play Atari, he connects. There are no more combinations there. I mean, the only thing to do is to protect against the cut at D11 or B11. So when you play B11, he cuts here, you can catch that stone. But he will cut here first, and then you still need to pay attention. So you don't gain so much, and he's gote. But if you play Atari, and so on, you ruin his left side. So another variation for black is just connect on the outside, he will pull back or connect, and then defend here. But playing Atari, it's strange. I mean, well, Atari like that just finish all the possible combinations, so it's a complete Ajikeshi also. This attach is weird too. Normally, you play moves to expand the bottom. So for example, N6. N6 is a nice move to expand and reduce in the same time. This is like the Moyo border here, both for white and for black. So it's an important junction, imaginary point. Okay, this capture was good, but Gote, and why shouldn't go for that cut? It's bigger for white to jump like this and go bigger on the right side. So that was a good sacrifice because it's only one stone and like 10 points of territory, but black's territory will grow. And in fact, black doesn't need to cut either. Just protect N5 or O5 or O6 because white at some point can cut like this. So it's better to make sure the ag is not going to function if you play another move like O6. This cut got a little bit troublesome for white. White should protect though. Yeah, well, according to cut where you can cut, it's a nice idea to confuse white here. This turn was good. Well, normally just push, he protects, and you protect also. But yeah, the center can become too good or too big. Interesting combination. And in fact here, black can connect. Because now, if white wants to capture those stones, white needs to play this move, and black will just Atari, and it's a Dametsumari. And if white comes down, you play Atari first. Oh, sorry. You cannot play Atari, you must play the Nose Tetsuji. Uh-oh, and then double Atari, then this move in center, then capture the group. I mean the stone in the middle. Yeah, this is similar to what happened in the game. So double Atari and take. But the position for black, for white is much stronger. So it's okay to connect and then sacrifice more stones. As long as there are stones on the board, like this, black gets more forcing moves. I mean, later in the game, black has Atari and another Atari. All these moves are sente. So white got a double Ponuki and it's fine. Okay, sente. Another sente. Oh, that ended up Gote. For white it's big to jump inside around N7. Yeah, and he did. But black can connect. Actually, black can play this move on the wedge, Atari. If white connects, black connects on the outside, white cuts, Atari from behind, Atari again, and then separate this stone. It's no problem if white Ataris here and here, because eventually black is fine here. Yeah. Plenty of liberties to kill white faster. So Kosumi. On this Kosumi, white can play also Kosumi threatening the cut. Now black has to defend here, then white can cut like this and it can be a problem. He played a peep against the cut and now those stones died inside. So it's still okay to play Atari first and don't lose the 4 stones. Play Kosumi here. And on this cut, now you can even resist, but it's okay to play Atari, Atari again, then separate. Because you only lose 1 stone. And kill the 2 stones on a large scale. That would be a winning variation. So now those 4 stones are captured. This squeeze is good, but the follow-up should be Atari, Atari, and Atari here. Oh, actually there's a better move. Nose Tetsuji. Because if white plays this, you Atari and he can't connect. And if he plays here, you Atari again, and you can even play Kosumi, threatening a snapback, which is tricky because if white plays here, you go Atari. Oh, he takes. Okay, so we don't go for snapback yet. Connect like this first. Then. So black can ruin a lot of points like this and then connect in the middle. In fact, just connect here, it's fine. And also from the shape point of view, it's always nice to play Atari like this and Atari like this because it ruins white's eye shape. Once you Atari from behind, he comes out and you still need a Kosumitsuki to protect against the cut. And this one is good because the follow-up is to cover. So if he plays here, you have this Hane. Like this, he can play a peep and then catch a stone like that. Oh, he saves these guys first. Oh, in fact, he didn't. Oh no, he did. That's a very risky variation. So let's say white plays this one, black comes out, white cuts. If black plays here, white just grabs more points. And if black resists, this can be very dangerous. White turns first, then black needs to ladder like that. Atari, Atari again. Now go down. And here black has to pay attention. If black plays this move, Atari, connect and Hane, and it's 4 against 3. So ouch. Therefore, black has to play this move. And then on the Hane, Hane also, turn, push again, Hane, this one, Atari, capture. So this is a Semedori. Black has to play many moves inside to remove the dead stones. And that's a gain for white. And the sequence, it's all forced. But white plays away. Oh, that's a pretty good catch. This got a bit dangerous for black. But eventually all the stones are connected now. Black had this Atari. This is important to connect. Let's see the end game. So here, connect. White plays Hane in the top in center. That's fine. This is small. It's bigger for white to cut the stones on the left side. Now I think white can win the game by a few points. Also, yeah, this Hane. In fact, here, white should play this move. Because anyway, there's a point at S9, and those 4 stones are captured for now. This is okay. Connect those guys. All forced here. That was dangerous. Black can cut. White needs to extend and then capture this stone. If white resists with this kind of move, black will Atari and come out. And now the whole top side is dead. I mean all these stones. Black will get into the right, but sorry, white is damaging the right, but white lost too much in the top like this. No more cuts. Here it's better to defend with Kosumi, because if Hane, Atari connect, you don't need another move inside. But if you play solid, he plays Hane, block, connect, and you need another move inside. So both white and black are playing 1-2 points moves, and all of a sudden, white missed this Atari. White should connect. I mean, okay, he's trying to cut the left side. All these moves are sente. Oh, but that's too greedy. For 5 points, he lost too much. He should connect here, allow black defend, and then count the game. Yeah, this was the start of the fall, downfall for white. So first, black saves this group, and now white makes a point instead of defending here. But now maybe black is slightly ahead to after saving the 4 stones. Anyway, spectacular game and lots of interesting local fights. But in the beginning I felt black was better, especially after the Joseki in the lower left, where white allowed the Han and double Han and so on. But then in the middle game, somehow black gives away the advantage and puts white back in the game. But eventually white messed up again, Atari, and boom, game over. Now white has to live in Gote, but not enough territory anymore. So well done on the win and enjoy the review.